Hello, everyone. Glad to have you here reading with us today. Thank you so much for taking the time out to read with us. It is always a pleasure to have you. If you're new to the stream, we appreciate you being here. And don't forget that you can come on screen, just click the link that is in the comment section on YouTube. For those of you who are streaming via TikTok, you can always come up on screen by sending a request. And this will allow you to read with me. All right, so let's get to our reading presentation for today. Okay, so today we are going to be continuing on our series reading about traveling. We're going to be continuing on our series reading about traveling. So today's topic is about traveling. Have you traveled before? Is it something that you enjoy doing? If you can answer those questions, then I guess we can go ahead and read about traveling. So the questions again, have you traveled before? If you can answer those questions, have you traveled before? Is it something that you enjoy? Or even what do you think about traveling? When the word travel comes to mind, what do you think? Then this is a topic that would be really good for you to read about. Okay, so let's go ahead and let's get right into it. Remember our word that we might see appearing a lot in our story today would be first. First, the I and R together make the sound like in the word word, and the S and T, we hear first, first. Our next word that we may see appear a lot is the word traveling. We see true, av, travel, el in English. When it's placed at the ending of words, a lot of times you would hear o, o. In other words, you might hear L, L. So you might hear E and U. However, you have to practice words enough to know which ones would use the O sound and which one would use the L sound. In the Caribbean, we would say low. Whenever we see the EL sound, we say low, like in the word level. In this word, in the Caribbean, we pronounce it as low. So in this word, level, we say level, okay? But the song is actually O, O, O. If you use British English also would pronounce it as O, but their O would be a bit deeper. All right. So we have travel, and then we add ing, we have in. When we put it together, we have traveling, traveling, traveling. For spelling purposes, remember that this word is spelled with two L. It is spelled with two L. I think in the American context, the Americans would spell it with one L. I'm subject to correction, but I think in their context of spelling, they misspell it with one L. All right. But if you're using the British spelling, Yes, I think hold on. So I'm gonna research it to make sure that I'm giving you the correct um thing. Yes, so it is spelled with one L, right? It is spelled with one L when it is in the present participle. That's when it is spelled with one L. When it's in that form, it is spelled with seem to be spelled with one. Hold on, guys. I don't want to give you misinformation. Right. So yes, I was correct. In the American English, it is spelled with um one L when you add ed and also when you add ing. All right. It's spelled like that a lot. But the traditional original spelling would be where you use the two L's. Okay. So keep that in mind for spelling purposes, especially if you are um in British operated countries. Good. Yeah. And we also meet the word, this popular word. Everybody wanna go there. A lot of us wanna go there. Am, e, e. The I makes a short sound, e. And then we have k, a, America. America. So our topic is my first time traveling to America. My first time traveling to America. All right. So last time we began the story with how it all started. Now today we are actually going to be doing a new set of texts, and these texts would continue from where we left off. So if you guys are interested in seeing or in getting the context of this whole story, you can go back to those parts where we read from the beginning of the story. That would be the live before this one. Okay? Good. So let's go ahead and begin. Always remember that our strategy here is to look for words that we find challenging, words that may be a bit long, but than normal. So, um, in our local term, we say big words or longer words, words that you may have never seen before, or from looking at it, it doesn't seem as though you are familiar with it, not even with the pronunciation that you might come up with. So those are the words that we are going to be looking at. Remember, in the comment section, it is your turn to let me know if there's a word that I have not chose that you do not know the word, because I would not choose all the words that you know because of the fact that, sorry, that you don't know, because of the fact that I am just going with words that, you know, in my opinion, they present problems for English speakers, or these words, they have a lot more letters than the other words. So that is my viewpoint. So that's why I would want you to also let me know words that you don't know. Just stop. All right, that's a bit of rambling, but we are going to begin. Thank you so much for being here. So our first word that we are going to be reading is this word. though it has like a small word, it can be very difficult to call because in English, IGH together make one sound. If you're not familiar with that, then it's going to actually take away from what you would do with this word in terms of using the letter songs and creating a whole word for it by blending the sounds. So let's go ahead and call the word. F and L together make the sound fl, fl, IGH says I. The I makes a sound, the GH is silent. And then we hear the song for the letter T. When we put it together, we have fl, I, t, flight, flight. Remember, the GH is silent. So this word is flight, flight. What is a flight? What is a flight? So now it's time for our vocabulary to come out. When we hear the word flight, what does it mean? So we heard that someone was on a flight. What does that mean to you? So go ahead, type in the comment section before I give the meaning. I want to see if you guys really know um, or understand the vocabulary for the word. So go ahead and type in the comment section. So when there's a flight, it's actually the process of flying. And that process of flying would mean that you are up in the air or that you are going through the air. So flight, our first word, is the process of flying. It means that you're up in the air and or you're going through the air. Just like birds, they fly. So remember the GH is silent. The I makes the sound I. Together, IGH makes the sound I. All right, let's see our next word. This word is a bit longer. We hear the CH makes a sound like K. In this word, CH makes a sound like K. CH can make many different sounds. CH makes a K sound in words like Christmas, in words like, let's find another word where CH makes a sound. There are so many words where CH makes K sound. Let's find one more. For example, in the word architect, arch, yes, I think, no, architect would not be a good one. Sorry, architect, architect, yes, that would be a good one, architect. In that one, we'll hear the song for CH2. What other words can we find? Ache, ache. So like when you feel a pain, you have an ache. CH can also make the sound in that word. All right, so we hear ed, sk, ed. Ed is a common rhyme in English. You find ed like in words like education. You find it in words like bed, med, led, those words. It creates a rhyme in those words. Then we hear you because the E's at the end silent. Whenever silent is there, the vowel that comes before will make a sound, calls its own name most times, not all times, but most times. So we hear you, mm, okay. And then once we're done doing that, we're going to put the ed together to make a sound. So let's put the word together now. So we hear ed, scared, you, scared, you. So we hear schedule, schedule, schedule. All right. You see this word? This word is also pronounced two different ways. Two different ways. You hear schedule or you hear schedule. Whenever you hear schedule, that is where the CH is also being pronounced as a song. So CH can also make a song like SH. It can say sh. So in that way, you hear schedule, schedule. Guys, and this is why English is so funny because these words, it depends on the pronunciation that you're using, right? So remember, you can hear schedule and you can hear schedule. Schedule or schedule. All right. So which pronunciation is the British pronunciation? Which one is actually the British pronunciation? So the British pronunciation for the word, do you think it is schedule or do you think it is schedule? Which one do you say it is? All right. So British would say schedule, schedule, schedule. Okay. So the British would say schedule, but the Americans would say schedule. Guys, this is English for you. This is English for you. So if you are trying to learn the American pronunciation, remember it is schedule. If you are using the British pronunciation, it is schedule. So remember, the British will pronounce the CH as sh, because CH can also make that sound, like in the word sheen. In the word machine, we hear the CH making the sound sh. Good. So that's three songs you learned there for CH today. I hope that you would remember them. So when you're choosing your pronunciation for words, that you would do your best. Okay? All right. So do you think you have it? If you think you have it, say yes, I do. All right. I'm not seeing you guys commenting in the comment section, but that's okay. All right. This word, we have a small word in it. You can see E at the end silent, the vowel that comes before. Remember, most times the vowel would call its name. So in this one, we hear A and T, eight, eight. The E at the end is silent. So this small word is eat. The past tense for the word eat. Past tense for the word eat. Our word here now is ate, ate, late, late, late. All right. What is our next difficult word on this line? Our next difficult word on this line would be we're going to treat this the same way with the E at the end. We said it's silent, and then we hear the vowel that comes before, call its name. So the E here would make the sound E, E. Then we hear the song for the V, Eve, Eve, Eve. So this is actually a word, Eve, like Eve in the Bible, Eve who ate the fruit that God said should not be eaten, the forbidden fruit, Eve. And then here we add mm. When we put it together, we have Eve, mm, and ing together says ing. So together, when we put this word together, we have evening, 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 evening. Our word here is evening, evening. And evening time, well, largely it's known from 6 o'clock right up to 11 o'clock. It's called evening. All right, let's now go ahead and read our first line. Let's go ahead and read our first line. Remember the words flight. The IGH says I, the GH is silent. Our word schedule, if you're using British English, schedule, schedule, because the CH makes a sound like SH. If you're using the American English, schedule, schedule, because the CH in the American English in this word makes a K sound. All right. So British English, you say schedule. American English, schedule. Don't forget. Practice, it becomes perfect. All right. Our next word, late. Late. The E at the end is silent. We hear the A say A. We have the small word eat, like the past tense for the word eat. And then we have Eve. That's the name of a character. No, in the Bible, Eve who ate the fruit that was forbidden. So the E here is silent, and the one that comes before, call its name. So we hear Eve, and then me, and then ing says in evening, evening. We said that flight means the process of flying. It is when you go through the air, moving in the air. That's what you call a flight. Schedule, British English, or schedule, American English. What does that word mean? When we say that we have a schedule or a schedule, the word is the same. It's just difference in pronunciation. British English, schedule, American English, schedule. All right. What does that mean? So let's see you guys active in the comment section telling us what that means. So a schedule or schedule is actually where you have created a plan and or a timetable, or you can say you have made an arrangement, you have created an arrangement for things to take place or to be organized for a particular time. So let's say tomorrow I will schedule this live session for 10 o'clock a.m. That would be my schedule. So that would be the time that I have planned so that I can conduct the live. Late, when something is late, it means that it is not on time. Late means that it is not on time, that it has gone beyond its time. All right? It has gone beyond its time. All right. Evening, yes, we said evening time is, well, what I know evening time to be, because different places would have it different ways. Okay. So I know evening time to be anytime from sometimes it depends on the season. Maybe it can be like from 5:30 or 5 o'clock right up to 9 o'clock or up to 11 o'clock. But different places, I think it would be different for them. Okay? Yeah, I previously said 11, but I think it's not up to 11. I think 11 is kind of like twilight kind of time. It's twilight, they call it, or night. I think it would be called night when it's after 11. So maybe up to like 9 o'clock, 10 o'clock is evening time. And that's PM, guys, PM. I think it depends. Different places around the world would have it differently. Hi, Slim Jim. How are you doing? How are you doing? So now we are going to go ahead and we are going to be reading our sentence. The flight was scheduled for late evening at, let's read it one more time. The flight was scheduled for late evening at, and we can read the time here, 11:20 p.m. Let's read the time one more time so you can practice reading digital time in English. 11:20 p.m. Or you can say 20 minutes after 11 p.m. All right. So this can be read as 11:20 p.m. or it can be read as 20 minutes after 11 p.m. Either or, you can read it as, but most persons, while reading, because they would prefer the shorter way, they would read it as 11:20 p.m. But it is also 20 minutes after 11 p.m. Okay? All right. So let's go ahead and let's target that sentence in a way that we read it very fluently. Right, true. Let's target the sentence that we read it very fluently. Right, true. The flight was scheduled for late evening at 11:20 p.m. Good. Think we getting there? Yes, we're getting there. Let's look in our next sentence and see what words there might be difficult for us to call. So, for example, we have this word an, e, then e. Remember, the I here is pronounced a lot of times. It is e, but a lot of times, depending on the letter that comes before it, especially when it's a soft song letter, you would hear a song like e in the word. So an, e, the I making a short sound, and e, and then we have anytime a comes before shun, we'll say a shun. The ti makes a sound like sh in this word. Anytime you have the word shun, the ti makes the sound sh before the o n. Okay, so we hear sh on, a shun. So this part of the word is a shun. If you want to learn parts so that you can call longer words, that would be good. So when it's without the a, you would say shun. When it's with the a, you would say a shun. That would help you to call a lot of longer words because a lot of longer words have this ending in it, a shun. So let's now bring it from the top. An, T, C, A, pay, and shun. Anticipation, anticipation, anticipation. What does anticipation means? So when you anticipate something, what does it mean? And what have you been anticipating for a while? So when you anticipate something, anticipate is actually action. What does it mean? So when you anticipate something, it simply means that you look out for it, like you're looking for it or you're counting on it or you expect it or you could almost predict it or like you foresee it. Yeah. Yeah. So anything that you're anticipating is something that sorry guys, you are looking forward for, or it is something that you may be preparing for, something that you think will happen. So you're preparing for it. Yes, that's what it means to be filled with anticipation. So anticipation would be the naming word for all that you've been going through there. Anytime you see a word take shun, it means that it now becomes into a naming word. So now this is your prediction or your expectation or your what you have hoped for, your hope. This is it. Our next word, the EU, makes the sound oo, oo. Like two O's can make the sound oo, O and U can make the sound oo in words too. So, or U by itself can make the sound oo too. So, E and U can make the sound oo, just like those. So we hear g, grr, and oo, grr, oo, grr. What does it mean for something that grew? So grew is actually the past tense for the word grow. Those of you who know the word grow, yeah, it's just the past tense. So grew and grow, they mean the same thing. Just mean one is in the present form and one is in the past form. Grew means that something gets bigger or taller or something has increased. Yeah. When something grew, it's the past tense for the word grow, which means something has gotten bigger, larger, taller, or something stretch, or it extends, or it spread, or it swell. Yes, we can use all those words. So that is for you to practice so you can increase your vocabulary. Remember, that's what our aim is, to get our vocabulary up and also to get our reading up. So always remember that grew is the past tense for the word grew, which means it gets bigger, it extends, it stretches, it gets larger, it enlarge. Yeah, all those words we can use them. Swell, we can even say swell. All right, next word. E and A together makes the sound E in this version. Okay? Remember, a lot of times EA can make so many different sounds that it does not just say E. The A silent, the E make the sounds, we get E. C and H in this word says ch. We put it together, we have each. All right. In the word schedule or schedule, you have seen that the CH there makes the sound k and ch. But in this word, each, we hear ch. So CH has three different sounds. And you have just learned the three different sounds that CH makes in English all in one lesson. So we hear in schedule, the American pronunciation, schedule, this word, schedule, where the Americans pronounce the CH as k. So the word becomes schedule. We heard the CH making the sound k. But then in schedule, where the British pronounce it as sh, making the SH sound, we hear the CH makes the SH sound just like it does in machine and in Chevy, those words. All right. If you guys get that, then you have done a good job. So what song does CH make? Come type it in the comment section. CH makes the k song, so you put letter K. CH makes the ch song, put letter CH, and CH makes the song. That's the SH song. Guys, if you got that, hooray! All thumbs up to you. All right, let's keep going. Let's keep going. You guys are doing a wonderful job. Remember, when we see words with ing, we call the ing part of it last. Okay? We try to get the whole word and then we call the ing part last. Let's go. So p, and then we see a, two s together. Remember when two letters come together because they make the same song. That is the same because they make the same song. You give them one song. So we hear p, as, pass, pass. Our word here is pass. You can see the small word ass, like a donkey. We can see, and this word can be seen as a disrespectful word. So don't use that word in English, especially depending on where you are. So it actually refers to a donkey. So we have p, as, pass. We have ing, we have in, passing, passing, passing. What does it mean to pass? What does it mean to pass? What does it mean to pass? When you pass, you actually go, or you proceed, or you move, right? Or you make your way um, to another place. Or it means that you just go through. Yeah. Yeah. So when you're passing, it means that you're actually moving. You're moving. Yeah, you're moving when you're passing. You're going past. So you would be going past things that are around you. So once you are passing, you're going past other things that are around you. Okay, guys. Our next word, we have we have a small word in, and here, guys, the U here takes the sound A. It takes a song of short I. It takes a song of short I. So we hear in, min, then we hear it, minute. The N is silent. So in that word, the U takes a short I sound. That's how funny English is, guys. That's why you have to be practicing and reading English very often to know the difference. Because how does a U really take the sound of an I, a short I? Well, in this word, it does. That's how crazy English is. That's why it's so hard to learn, guys. So we have min and it. Minute. The U takes the sound for short I, it. The E is silent. Minute. Minute. What is a minute? If I say, give me a minute, what am I talking about? If I say, please give me a minute, I am saying that I want 60 seconds. I am saying that I want 60 seconds. So a minute, it is actually time. And it is a period that adds up to 60 seconds. A minute, it is time, and it adds up to 60 seconds. All right. So that's good. So let's now see if we have mastered the words. Let's call the words again. Then we read the sentence. Anticipation, anticipation, grew, grew, each, each, passing, passing, minute, minute, All right. You think you have those words all locked in? You can remember them? I guess you can. So let's see if we can read that sentence. Then we're going to be reading the two sentences that we have already covered the words for. And then after that, we would move on to our other sentences. So let's go ahead. My anticipation grew with each passing minute. How cool that was. Let's try now to read it very fluently. That's where we do not have any pause. Okay, no pausing. Ready to go? Take a breath of fresh air so you can go through fluently. Fluent, guys, fluent. My anticipation grew with each passing minute. How was that? I think you did well. Let's now read from the top. All right, so we're going to be reading from the top. Let's see if we have locked all the words from the top. Remember, with practice, it becomes very easy for you. The flight was scheduled for late evening at 11:20 p.m. My anticipation grew with each passing minute. Let's read it one more time. The flight was scheduled for late evening at 11:20 p.m. My anticipation grew with each passing minute. Yeah, and you need to put some spunk in your reading where you have some expression. All right. When you express yourself in your reading by changing your tone or by rising and allowing your tone to rise and fall correctly, it would help others who are listening to you or your listeners to really understand or to feel what you're reading. Okay. All right. This time says 8:30 p.m. 8:30 p.m. 8:30 p.m. So we start with the first number 8, then 30 p.m. 8:30 p.m. Or this can be read as starting with the second number, 8:30. 8:30. Another way that it can be read is 30 minutes past 8. Okay? So that's just some knowledge there for you. So that can be read three different ways. You can say 8:30 p.m. You can say 30 minutes after 8 p.m. Or you can say 8:30 p.m. All right. I think you have it. If you didn't, then let me know so I can recap. All right. Remember, whenever we see ed, ing, s, we leave those for last and we call the first part of the word. Our word here is w. The al makes the sound or. It makes that same sound like au when it is in the middle of small words, like in chalk, in talk. We hear the al making the sound or. And then we make a sound for k. So we hear w, walk, w, walk, walk, walk. Now we add the ed to make it the past tense. When we do that, we are going to make the sound. So ed makes three different sounds at the end, but in all, ed makes four sounds. So the one that we're going to use in this one would be walk, walked. So we hear the t sound at the end. And you know what it means to walk. What do you do when you walk? That's when you do what? You lift your feet and you just move them at a regular pace. You lift your feet and you just move them at a regular um, pace, right? So what you're doing is actually allowing your feet to, or you're allowing your foot, each foot to go one after the other, one after the other. And they move in turn. One goes after each. Both does not go the same time when you're walking. Good. So if you understand what walk means, then that is good. It's an action that you do all the time. When you get on your feet and you start moving, you're walking. Most times you're walking, not all the time. It depends on what you're doing. Okay. All right. So our word here is walked. Walked. That's when you move your feet one after the other in turn. You have O, and ER makes the sound er, O, over. So this word, you would have to read it a lot to remember that the O makes a long sound where it calls its own name. We hear O, over, over, over. All right, that's good. So the word is over. When something goes over, what does that mean? And we did the meaning for the word over just yesterday. If something goes over, what does that mean? It simply means that it goes above, right? Something, it goes above or higher than something else. So if you are throwing a ball and it goes over, it means that it goes higher or above. If it goes over your head, it goes higher or above your head. All right. Our next word, as we continue, CH in this word makes the sound ch, just like it makes in each, the same sound ch. Then we hear and then C and K together makes the sound ch, one sound. Because both of them make the same sound, we only make one sound. So we hear ch, ek, ch, ek, check. We add ing. We hear ing, checking, checking. By now, everyone should know ing sound because we have done it in the word passing, in the word evening. And so we have learned ing says in. Always remember, call the first part of the word, then add the ing sound in. Checking, checking. What does it mean to check something? So checking here in this context, when you're checking for a flight, what are you doing? Right? We know check means when you examine something or you look at something or you try to inspect something, right? But what does checking mean? Like when you check in? I think this word is spelled incorrectly here too. Yes, it's spelled incorrectly. Yes, it was spelled incorrectly because it should be spaced. This word's supposed to be check in, like when you check into something. Yeah. What does the word check in mean? So like when you check into um check in at work, when you check into a flight, what does that mean? What are you actually doing? Come on, guys, get active in the comment section. I want you guys to bring out vocabulary, you know. It is important that when you're learning English for you to be able to, when you hear words, to at least be able to bring out the vocabulary before um it is being told to you. And that is to see how close you come from hearing the word. What does it really speak to you? All right, so when you're checking, like for example, when you are traveling and you checking, it would simply mean that you would be showing your ticket to the person that is there, the agent that is there, and they would just give you directions of what to do or how to proceed, and they would also give you a lot of vital information like your seating area, um, check your bag in terms of the pounds and all that for you. That is simply what it means to check in. Another check-in that you can do is when you check in with somebody. So, for example, you call someone or you contact them, that is also another form of checking. Okay. So this should not be checking like with ing. This one should actually, the ing should be out of it. It should be check and in, check and in. All right. So this is an error. This is an error. The G should not be. Okay, guys. So checking, like when you're traveling, it should not include the G. Unless it's a case where they are actually physically checking your bags. So when they're examining your bags, like they have their gloves on and they're looking at, they open your, ask you to open your suitcase, or that would actually be with the G, that they're checking what is there. But when you check in on the, that's when you hand over your ticket and stuff like that, or your passport to the agent at the airport, so that you can receive further advice or guidance as to what to do or be told what to do. That is a different check-in. So there should be a space right here between the two words. All right, so let's now continue. Our next word is air, A-R-E in English. When it is in other words, it would say air. When it's by itself, you hear R, but when it's in other words, you hear air. So we hear air, and then we hear the E, double itself here to say E and A. So this word says area, 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 area. Our word here is area. Okay? And this word, you would have to practice it enough to remember what it says, because as you notice, the E, after going with the AR to say air, it is now doubling itself by making another sound, E, and then we hear area, area. And an area would be like a zone, it would be like um a section or a part of a place, or it could be of a country, a tongue, it could be of a certain piece of land or a region. Any of those could work as an area. Our next word that we take a look at is the word st. Two O's in this one says O, stu, od, and then we have DC. Together we have stood, stood, stood. And stood is the past tense for the word stand. Stood is the past tense for the word stand. So he stood on his feet. It's the past tense for the word stand. So that would mean when you are in a position where you are standing, where you are upright. I don't want to use back the word standing. Okay. So when you stood somewhere, it will mean that you are in a position where you are upright, or some people would just say an upright position. Okay? Or it can refer to just being in a place or position for a long time. You would say stood. It can also refer to that. Our next word, we have E at the end, silent. The I makes a long sound, so it says I. So in that word, we hear L, ein, L, ein, line. L, ein, line. Remember the E silent? So the last song we hear is N, line, line. What is a line? You might be very familiar with a line. What is a line? So a line is a long, narrow mark or band. A line is a long, narrow mark or band. It can be like something that is ruled up. It can also be like an underline looking thing. It can be a strip or even a stripe can be called a line. Or a line can also refer to like a piece of rope or wire, um, like anything that has like a length, like a cord that has a length, you can also refer to it as a line. A cord that has a length, you can refer to it as a line. All right. Our next word, we see the small word out. The OU makes it sound ow. The T makes it sound t. Put it together, out. And then we have the small word ab. Not word, rhyme. Ab. Like in cab, nab, jab. So we have ab, out, about. Okay. Let's move on to our next word. We did this word a while ago, but we did not add S. So it would be good for you to remember what this word is. Remember, in this word, the U makes a short I sound where we hear I. So the word is min. We can see in it, min, and it. Minute. The E at the end is silent. Now let's add the S sound. We hear minutes, minutes, and we did speak about minute, what it is. Minute is when you have 60 or more seconds. 60 or more seconds. We say that it is minutes. It is minutes. All right. So when you have 60 or more seconds, that is 1 minute. So when you have a lot of 60 seconds, those would be minutes. Those would be more than 1 minutes. All right. Are we in check? Are we understanding the vocabulary words? If you do, say yay. Say yes, I do. All right, guys. Our next word, be, that small word be. Whenever you have small words with E at the end, a lot of the times the E is silent, or it can make the long E sound E, where it calls its own name. In this one, we hear E where the vowel is calling its own name, E. All right. And then we see the word for, for. But remember, if you say for before, that is correct, but it's really O-R-E, making the sound O, O, O. The O-R-E is making the sound O, like in the word so, so. Okay? So the O-R-E saying O. So if the word is be, or, before, before. And this is actually a word for. like forecast, like foreknowledge, foretell. It's actually a word by itself. And it's the ORE saying O. Some people say as in just using the OR and the E silent before. That is correct too, but know that it's before O. All right. It doesn't sound much of a difference, but there is still the difference. In this word, the U and L is silent. We hear K, O. We hear the O makes a long sound O. D. So we hear K, Od, K, Od, could. You have to practice this word often enough to remember the U and L is silent and the O makes a long O sound. Practice it enough to call it and to spell it as a whole word. That would be my advice to you. Practice it enough to spell it and to call it as a whole word, because you may not remember the U and L is silent in it, and the O makes a song that says O. All right. So could, O. Our next word, we can see our word that we did up here. And that's why it's important for you to understand how words are made up. If you understand that, other words will be easy for you to call. So you see this word each, we can see it right here in this word too. So we can add the R sound and we have each, each, reach. Because we just did this word each, where E and A together makes the sound E. The E makes a sound, the A is silent, and the CH says ch. Together we hear each. Down here, it's the same thing. Now we are adding r to it. So we hear each, reach, reach. So you see, that's what you guys need to practice. Guys, please give the live a thumbs up. Please give the live a thumbs up. Those of you who are here. If there's a word that I've missed that you cannot call, but I've missed it because it's not too much of a big word or a word that may not be in your vocabulary, please type it in the comment section. So when you reach for something, it actually means that you are like making a stretch. Using your arms, you stretch out your arms for it. When you reach for something, it means that you stretch your arms out. It could be in whatever direction that thing is. You stretch your arms out to that direction in order to touch it or to grab it or grasp it. Okay? So that is what it means to reach. To extend your arms or to stretch your arms out or to stick your arms out so that you can get that thing. Reach can also mean something else. It can mean when you arrive at a place, or when you get to a place, or when you come to a place. You can say, hey, I reach. Okay? Or when you make it, when you achieve something, or when you gain something, when you make it, when you get to the top, you can say, hey, I reach. Like, so the word reach can be used in those three different ways. So always remember to practice their meanings too. That would help you to build your vocabulary. And guys, please give the live a thumbs up, okay? Remember the three meanings for the word reach. Our next word, we see then we see and we see So we hear k, ong. So we hear k, ong, and we hear n and So our first part of the word, these words that ends with er, you can also separate the er by saying at the end. call the first part of the word, then add the ER sound. Because a lot of the times you will know the root word, as in the first part of the word, and then you can easily add the ER to get the complete word. Right? So once a word ends with ER, always call the first part of the word, then add the ER sound to it, which is and it makes the word easier for you to call. So here we have k, ow. Here the OU says ow. N, t. So our word here is k, ow, count, count. And then we have count, count, counter, counter. But in American English, that's where you sound out the In British English, you do not really sound out In British English, you would say counter, counter. So the ER, a lot of the times it sounds like the schwa sound. So you hear count, counter, counter. In American English, you hear counter, counter. So it would have a sing to it. Right, guys? So our word is counter. What is a counter? What is a counter? Type it in the comment section to tell me what is a counter. You find counters in the kitchen, you find them in bars. What can you say a counter is? All right, so a counter is actually made with a long flat top and it goes across, it's has a likeness to a table. It goes across um in banks, or you can find it in shops, in bars, or places that may serve refreshments. You can find a counter there. So it's like just a leveled surface that looks resembles a table very much. And over it, you would do your transactions, or your food would be served in general. All right. Also, the word conquer can have other meanings, but in this case, that is the meaning for it, the meaning that we just did. But when something counteracts, or when something counters, it can also mean that it creates an opposite effect. So counter can also mean that something with an opposite effect. All right, let's see this word now. We have two E's in it. The two E's here says E. So we hear eat, eat. And this meet is like when you meet someone. So when you get in that same space with someone, when you like arrange and you come to the same space, or your presence is in the same room, you can say that you meet. Or when you touch something or you join with something, you can say that you meet. Or when you gather um, with persons or with that person, then you can say that you meet. Okay? So meet here would mean that. Our next word is our famous word. E, re, an. Can we see the small word an? Like an egg, an apple, an. Can you see the small word an? Do you see it? Do you see it, guys? Yes, we do. So now it's not just America, but it is American. American. So our word here now is American. American. All right. And we are supposed to be very familiar with our next word. Here we have AIR, saying air, like the air that we breathe. AIR in English, a lot of the times it says air. Air, then we just did this small word. So we should remember this small word, guys. And you see, when I've done a word before, I should not be going over it because those are words that you should remember. That's why I ask you to always try and remember the word. So this word is the same as this part of the word. Can you remember that word? The E silent, the I makes a long song. We hear I. Put it together. Line, line, line. So this word says line, line. So we put the two together, air and line, airline, airline, airline. Okay, you guys got that? You guys got that? Let me know. Airline. What is an airline? So what is an airline? We have a lot of airlines in the world. What is an airline? What would you say it is? So an airline is just an organization or a company that would provide air transport service to anybody who wants that service, right? And these airlines, they would travel to different routes or to different places. And, airline services, they would provide transportation to public transport. They would also provide maybe to private sectors too. So you would want to hire a public airline, and this airline goes by the abbreviation AA. AA. Anytime you see letters like this, sometimes they have a dot between them. You read them as letters, okay? Read them as letters. Do not read them as words. Once you see that they are capitalized, they are an abbreviation. So the A stands for this A, for this beginning of this word, and the next one stands for this one. So you read them as they are. Our next word is A. When G comes before E, I or Y, we make a sound like J. So we have age, like in this word, saying age, age, as in how old you are. So the small word age, how old you are. In age, it would be silent, okay? But then in this word, it is not silent. The E here is saying eh. So we hear age, eh, agent, age, and agent. The S now, we add it because we know the word now is agent. So let's add the S. We hear agents, agents, agents. Have you heard that word before? Is that an English word that you've heard before? Agent, agent. Have you heard that word before? And always be careful with your spelling in the word agent. And the reason for that is because a lot of you would spell it with a J. The J sound is only because the G is coming before an E. Whenever G comes before E, I or Y, that's the song that it will make. J, a soft song, agent. And what is an agent? Or who is an agent? So an agent is actually somebody who would act on your behalf. So I can have an agent, somebody who would act on my behalf, or they can act on the behalf of a company, right? So an agent is somebody who would act on the behalf of another person of a company, of a group, of an organization. That person is called an agent. So an agent would, in our local term, we might say is a representative, okay? A lot of us, we do not use the word agent. We would say it's a representative. Some of us, we may say the person is a spokesperson. Some of us, we might say that the person is a front man. Some of us may call the person a front man. Some of us may even call the person our how do you put that? Our trustee. Yes, some people may call it their trustee. So those are some other words you can use for agent. All right, so we're gonna read this long par sentence. This long sentence. Let's read it. Remember the words walked 8:30 p.m. or 30 minutes after 8 p.m. or 8:30 p.m. 3 ways you can say it, okay? Remember either one. Over, check in, check in, and remember these are supposed to be separated. Area, area, stood, stood, line, line, about, about, minutes, minutes, before, before, could, reach, reach, counter, counter. If you're using the American pronunciation, counter, 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 meet, meet, American, American, airline, airline, AA, AA, agents, agents, agents. All right. So if you think you got all that together, then you sure did well. If you think you got all that together, you sure did well. Let's go ahead now and let's read that sentence. We're doing word for word first. Then we're going to be doing our sentence, whole sentence. Let's go. At 8:30 p.m., 30 minutes after 8 or 8:30 p.m. Remember, you can say 30 minutes after 8, 8:30, or 8:30 p.m. Any of the three would be correct. At 8:30 p.m., I walked over to the checking area and stood in the line for about 15 minutes before I could reach the counter to me, the American airline AA agents. Let's go ahead and read it one more time. Let's go ahead and read it one more time. Guys, remember if you want to come up and read, also just click on the link in the comment section, okay? So that you can read it aloud. And today I'm only dealing with my YouTube followers because we are only going live on YouTube. So those of you on YouTube who want to read it out loud, click the link in the comment section and you can come up to read, okay? But you would let me know in the comment section so that I can change the screen to allow you to come up to read. So just let me know if you want to come up and I'll change the screen so you can come up to read. So let's go. At 8:30 p.m., I walked over to the counter. Sorry, I misread. Guys, pay attention. At 8:30 p.m., 30 minutes after 8 p.m., or 8:30 p.m., I walked over to the check-in area and stood in the line for about 15 minutes before I could reach the counter to meet the American airline AA agents. Guys, remember, here, anytime this word comes before a word that begins with a vowel, you say D. Anytime it comes before a word that begins with a consonant, you would say duh. All right? Be sure to practice that always. And sometimes in reading, it can mix you up. I know that. And you have just seen that from me as an English speaker. You have just seen that from me. So know that that can really sometimes cause you to get mixed up. But once you keep practicing, it's going to become very easy. Let's read it again. At 8:30 p.m., 8:30 p.m. can also be used as 30 minutes after 8 p.m. or 8:30 p.m. At 8:30 p.m., I walked over to the check-in area and stood in the line for about 15 minutes before I could reach the counter to meet the American airline AA agents. Always remember, whenever you see the letters, you read them as letters. Some of them, you may have full stops between them. Read them as letters, okay? They are letters. They are called abbreviations. All right. So we should take it from the top now. And then we would do our last set of words and the meaning. And I hope you guys remember the meaning. If you want to come up to read with me, you want to come up to show that you've learned all the words and you know the vocabulary, or you want to practice them again, please feel free to do that with me. So let's read from the top. Then you're going to do our last sentence, um, breaking the words in pronunciation and also parts that you can remember how to call them if you ever meet them again, which you would. The flight was scheduled if you are speaking American English, schedule if you're learning British English. The flight was scheduled or scheduled for late evening at 11:20 p.m. or 20 minutes after 11 p.m. My anticipation grew with each passing minute. At 8:30 or 8:30 or 30 minutes after 8 p.m., I walked over to the check-in area and stood in the line for about 15 minutes before I could reach the counter to meet the American airline AA agents. Guys, reading is so much fun. And when you're reading, always read with expression. Show your rising tone and your falling tone. And that would help you to bring out all the expression. All right, so let's go on to our final sentence. After that, we are going to be reading through the whole story again, and it is just for practice. So let's break down these words that you might have problems with. Remember, we are looking for the words that you might have problems calling. If there's a word that you think you might have problems with and I did not do that word, please put it in the comment section so I can do that word for it. All right. So in this word, we can see the small word and we did the small word and in the word American, and we add D to it. So we have and like when you say my dad and I, when you're joining another person. And remember, we always leave ed for last, or ing or s. So our first sound is and, and, hand, hand. So our word is hand, like your hand, as in your body parts. Now we add the ed sound whenever words end with d in English or t, we would give the ed the sound id. So we say handed, handed, handed. So our word is handed. In handed, we can see the small word and. You can see an even smaller word and. And this would help you to build up to call the word handed, handed. When you hand something for someone, or when you have handed something for someone, it simply means that you have given that thing to them. Okay? When you have handed something for someone, it simply means that you have given that thing to them. So you use your hand and you give it to them. Okay? All right. Our next word, we did this part of the word. You see, guys, that's why you have to learn your parts of your words, because if you don't know a word, they are going to help you to get your word. If you don't know a word, trust me, learning the parts of it of words help you to get the word. So this word, we have done this word up here because we did the word in parts. So we have done this word, pass. So we have p, a, and two s. We make one sound because both of them make the same sound. So p, as, pass. We can see the small word as, which means donkey, as, which means donkey. However, in a lot of places, as would be a very informal word and it would be a very rude word, okay? Right? Because people refer to like your bottom as your ass, and that would be a rude word, okay? It's not a word that you would use in a lot of societies just like that. And people use it as a bad word too, right? So try not to use that word, right? Try not to use it. But it actually means donkey. So our next word is p, or one R together says or. We have p, port, port, port. So our word is is pass and port. Pass, port, passport, passport. If we wanted the word airport, then we use air from the word airline. We use air and then we add it to port and we have airport. So you see, that's why you have to learn small parts of words. Remember, AIR in English says air. So this is how we can get airport, airport. Seeing that we're talking about traveling, you also learn the word airport if you were not here earlier to learn that word. All right. In this word, we can see a small word here. C and K would they make the same sound, so you always get one sound from them both. One time you make the sound, so you say t, ik, t, ik, tick. You hear t, ik, tick. Our word here is tick, tick. Like when your clock is moving, we say it is ticking. Tick, tick, tick. That's it, there, tick. And then we hear et, ticket. So we hear et, like in words like let, met. So the word is ticket, ticket. But this word, the E is often pronounced as E, the short I sound. So it will always be said as ticket, ticket, ticket. Instead of it being said as ticket, it would be ticket. Maybe some persons, you might hear them use the pronunciation et, ticket, but the word is actually ticket, ticket. Okay, the E is pronounced short as E. So if that's something that you didn't know, now you know. And that is English for you. English is a language that doesn't keep its form, all right? So even though you see the same letters in the word, know that they can mean differently. They can sound different. All right. So in this word, we hear L, the A makes a long sound. We hear it call its name A and D, and the Y at the end makes a sound like E. So a Y at the end can make two sounds, I or E. We just want to hear E. In English, you won't hear Y at the end making Y. All right? No, it's I or E. So we hear L, aid, laid, E, lady, lady, like ladybug. A lady is actually a woman. A lady is a woman. All right. Oh, we did not do the vocabulary for ticket. What is a ticket? I think you guys might be very familiar with a ticket. So a ticket is actually your pass or your um token, or you can say your chit or your slip, or you can say your card, or yeah, that thing that allows you to um travel or to have certain rights to whatever um it is that you are attending. So for example, if you go to the movies, you would get a ticket and that would allow you um enter to enter the movie. You would also get tickets like for shows, and that would allow you to enter the show and maybe to have other access to other things in the show. So a ticket can be called a pass. It can also be called a token or a permit, or sometimes it comes in the form of a card or sometimes in the form of a coupon. So it is a piece of paper or card that would give you access, or that would allow you to um, enter a place or to have rights within that place to do the things that goes with the guidelines of the place, or that allows you to travel or to participate in an event. Yeah, that's what a ticket is. What is your passport? What is your passport? So we did the word passport. We did not cover the vocabulary. This word passport, your passport, you see pass and port. Your passport is that document that your country issues, your government of your country will issue, that would identify who you are. It would show that you are a citizen of that place, and it would allow you or permit you to travel and be protected um, by that country. All right. So that is what a passport is. It is that document that would certify that it's you, or that would show your identity, that you belong to a certain nation or country. And it is something that is issued by the government of your country. It is used for travel, right? So you would use your passport to travel. So it's like your travel permit. We said lady is a woman. And our next word is desk. Desk. So we get desk. Desk. And a desk is, relatively the same as a table. A desk, it is a piece of furniture with a flat surface, and we use a desk to write on. So it is a table. In a sense, it's a table. All right. So your desk will have the top that looks like a counter, top on it, and it's a table. So we can use the word desk and table interchangeably. Yeah, we can use them interchangeably because they mean the same thing, desk and table. All right, guys. So if you got it, you got it, right? If you got it, you got it, which means you have mastered all these words. So we're going to be reading the last sentence just for practice, and then we are going to read our whole um, text. So let's go. I handed my passport and ticket to the lady at the desk. Let's read it one more time. I handed my passport and ticket to the lady at the desk. Remember the words? Handed, passport, ticket, ticket, lady, desk. Remember the words. Let's try now to read it very fluently, which means we are going to read at a steady pace and we're going to try to go at a fast pace. Ready to go? Let's go. If you're ready, say ready. All right, guys. I handed my passport and ticket to the lady at the desk. Let's try it one more time. And I know you can do it very well. So let's go quickly. I handed my passport and ticket to the lady at the desk. All right. So by now we know all the words. I'm gonna be erasing the clues to the words, seeing that we've done the songs, the parts of the word, the small words and the bigger words, and all that. We have done the ending parts, coming up with all the songs, helping with the pronunciation. So now we're just going to be doing the pronunciation for all the words so that those of you who are here can learn them if you are now joining. Flight, flight. This word says schedule if you are using British English, schedule if you are using American English. Late, late. Evening, evening. Anticipation, anticipation. Grew, grew. Each, each. Passing, passing. Minute, minute. Our time, 8:30 p.m., 8:30 p.m., 30 minutes after 8 p.m. Our time can be read in those three ways. Please don't forget to practice them. Walked, walked, over, over. Check in, check in. Remember, there should be a space between the two words, check and in. That is an error. Area, area. Stood, stood, stood. Line, line. About, about. Minutes, minutes, minutes. Before, before. Could. Reach, reach. Counter, counter. Meet, meet. American, American. Airline, airline, AA, AA, agents, agents, handed, handed, passport, passport, ticket, ticket, lady, lady, desk, desk. All right. If you were able to call all those words in the blue, then you are going to be so fluent as we read through this story. So remember, it's now time to erase all the clues from the words, the songs, the clues, and we're going to see just how fluent you can read. Now that we have removed all the clues from the words, let's see how fluent you can read that. I know you can do it, okay? Just believe in yourself that you can do it. All right? There are certain things that you must remember. We have done the parts of the words. We have done small words and big words. We have done the songs. Like, for example, when G comes before G, I, or Y in the word urgent, we hear the song J. We've done AIR, making the song air. The E at the end of this word is silent. The I will say I. We've done all this. So it's just for you to remember. We've done some tricky stuff like in minutes where the U makes a song like it. It's a short I song. So we have min, it, guys. So just remember all the tricky stuff. AL making the song off. And you'll be able to talk all the words. I am ready to go, and I hope you are ready too. So let's first do it. Read and write through. Let's go. Let's go. Remember, we're gonna take our time and read it slowly at a slow pace, then we build up to a faster pace. All right. The flight was scheduled for late evening at 11:20 p.m. or 20 minutes after 11 p.m. My anticipation grew with each passing minute. At 8:30 or 8:30 or 30 minutes after 8 p.m., I walked over to the check-in area and stood in the line for about 15 minutes before I could reach the counter to meet the American airline AA agents. I handed my passport and ticket to the lady at the desk. All right. If you were able to do that, then you have learned a lot. Let's now practice to read in phrases, which would allow us to read very well. And then we're going to be reading these sentences. Let's read in phrases. The flight was scheduled for late evening at 11:20 p.m. or 20 minutes after 11 p.m. My anticipation grew with each passing minute. At 8:30 p.m., 8:30, 30 minutes after 8 p.m., I walked over to the check-in area and stood in the line for about 15 minutes before I could reach the counter to meet the American airline AA agents. I handed my passport and ticket to the lady at the desk. All right. If you were able to read in phrases, that is very important. And that would help you to be able to read very quickly. So let's now go ahead and read at a faster pace. We are closer to finish. Let's go ahead now and read at a faster pace. And guys, please, if you haven't subscribed yet, please subscribe to the channel. If you have not yet liked the video, please like the video. Please like the like and thank you so much. We appreciate you being here. We appreciate you taking the time out to read with us. We do appreciate you in every way. All right. Okay. So let's get back to it. So let's go ahead and read. Ready to go? Let's go. The flight was scheduled for late evening at 11:20 p.m. or 20 minutes after 11 p.m. My anticipation grew with each passing minute. At 8:30 p.m., I walked over to the check-in area and stood in the line for about 15 minutes before I could reach the counter to meet the American airline AA agents. I handed my passport and ticket to the lady at the desk. How was that, guys? Guys, I tell you, when you're reading, you should have a lot of expressions, you know. These expressions, they help to make your reading more exciting and they help others to understand what they're reading. Okay? So as you build up the story line, you should be trying your best to put in all the expressions into your reading. Try your best to put in all the expressions into your reading. Okay, guys, you're doing very well. Let's do it one more time. And then after we finish doing it one more time, reading through one more time, guys, we're going to stop there for today. So let's go. And remember, we want to hear a lot of expression. Come on, let's have the expression. The flight was scheduled for late evening at 11:20 p.m. or 20 minutes after 11 p.m. My anticipation grew with each passing minute. At 8:30 p.m., I walked over to the check-in area and stood in the line for about 15 minutes before I could reach the counter to meet the American airline AA agents. I handed my passport and ticket to the lady at the desk. Guys, I'm sure you have traveled before, and this was this your expression? Was this the expression that you traveled with? You were feeling all that excitement. Were you feeling all that excitement? Or those of you who have never traveled before, I'm thinking that you would feel all this excitement. Guys, do you think you would feel all this excitement? I think you would. All right. Now, it's your turn, guys. Any one of you who are interested in coming up on screen to read, there's a link in the comment section. Those of you on YouTube, please click the link and you can come up on screen to read. You do not show your camera, just come up using your voice. How about that? So those of you who are interested in coming up to read, you're going to click the link that is in the comment section. All right. So you're going to click the link that is in the comment section. I'm going to stop sharing the screen a bit just to get to that where you can click the link in the comment section. All right, guys. So you would click the link. I have to change to a different layout. Yes, guys. So please, if you're interested in reading what is on the screen, you want to practice out loud, you are going to click the link. All right, click the link in the comment section. And you guys can come up and read. So please, guys, come. Let's read. So let me know if you're coming up or if you're clicking the link so I can add you on screen. I have to know if you're coming to read. I'm giving you some time to come. I'm giving you some time to come down. Come on, guys. I'm giving you some time to come. You have to click the link in the comment section so I would know if you are coming. I'm gonna post the link again. Okay? I'm gonna post the link again. Guys, please don't disappoint, you know. It's time for you guys to come up and practice. Yeah, so I posted the link again in the comment section. If you are interested, guys, please hit the link, hit the link, hit the link, hit the link in the comment section. Hit the link in the comment section, guys, and you can be up on screen to practice how to read through our text. Click the link, guys, in the comment section if you want to come up and read the text. Remember, you just don't need to show your face or anything like that. You can just do your video. Okay? Just do your video and we'll be fine, guys. So come on, guys. Click the link in the comment section. I'm not seeing anyone comment in. Guys, you have to click the link in the comment section if you want to come up and read. All right, so if we don't see anyone coming and reading, then we're gonna end the session there. You're just gonna reread one more time and then we end the session. We are waiting for you guys. If anybody wanna come up and read. Come on, guys, if you wanna come up and read, click the link in the comment section. If you wanna come up and read, click the link. Guys, anybody, one buddy, two buddy, three buddy, anybody who wants to come up and read, the link is in the comment section, guys. Click on it. That's what we're waiting for. Anyone who wish to read on screen, click the link in the comment section to come up and read. Alright guys, as Mrs. No one is interested in reading online. So we're gonna go back to where we were and just read it one more time, and then after that we're gonna end the live there. It seems like no one is interested in reading out loud. So if you guys are not interested in reading out loud, that's fine too. But guys, it will be good for your practice, you know, for you to practice still read out loud. That will help you a lot in your everyday use of the language. But nevertheless, that's okay. We're just going to read it one more time, and then we're going to separate it for today. The flight was scheduled for late evening at 11:20 or 20 minutes after 11 p.m. My anticipation grew with each passing minute. At 8:30 p.m., I walked over to the check-in area and stood in the line for about 15 minutes before I could reach the counter to meet the American airline AA agents. I handed my passport and ticket to the lady at the desk. All right, so I gotta reread this one more time because this was hiding the words to the bottom. I really want you guys to really get everything out of the reading sessions. So let's reread one more time and we can try to read as fluent. Remember, listen for the different pronunciations for the different words. And practice how to read it also. You can take yourself and re-listen to see if you call the words correctly. Let's go. Are you ready? I'm ready. Let's go. The flight was scheduled for late evening at what was it? Let's begin again, guys. Let's begin again. Sorry for that interruption. So we're gonna begin. The flight was scheduled for late evening at 11:20 or 20 minutes after 11 p.m. My anticipation grew with each passing minute. At 8:30 p.m. or 30 minutes after 8 p.m. or 8:30 p.m., I walked over to the check-in area and stood in the line for about 15 minutes before I could reach the counter to meet the American airline AA agents. I handed my passport and ticket to the lady at the desk. All right, guys. And you see this word, you have to be very careful and practice saying it a lot. Because when you're reading it, sometimes it can give you a tongue twist. You heard me a while ago saying anti, right? Anticipation, right? Remember the word is anticipation. And remember what it means. It means when you hope or expect or foresee something, that's when you anticipate it, okay? And that's how you can get up to have anticipation. All right, guys, thank you so much for reading with me today. It was such a pleasure having you on, and I hope that you guys would really improve your English reading, especially those of you who are now learning how to read. I hope that learning a lot of the parts of the words, like the smaller words and big words, or learning the rules for calling the words, like different songs that these parts would make. Like, for example, IGH make the song I, where the I make the song, the GH is silent. That's a very popular one in a lot of English words like light, night, might, tight, fight, all those words. If you learn that variation alone, you get to learn a chain of words. All right. And so that's why you must practice the different songs, the different variations in the word. After a time in practicing to read often, it will become very easy for you. And so too with the vocabulary of the words, you would learn the vocabulary and your vocabulary would increase so much. And essentially, that's what we want. Okay. So I want to thank you so much for being here. You've been such a good company. Your reading style, I show it is improving. And guys, remember, I want you guys to get a bit braver where you are able to come up on screen and read. Remember, you do not have to come up with your camera because when you come in, you would automatically just be using your audio. It would be for you to turn it on if you want to. If you don't want to turn on your camera, that's fine. You would just read using your picture or whatever is on your display. Okay? And that would be very fine. Remember, we are practicing to read, and what we're looking for is the pronunciation and the automaticity in your word. Seeing that you're able to pronounce them correctly, we want to be able to spot that. And guys, you see that word that I just taught a while ago? Um, where you're able to just do things automatically. That word also is one of my problem words in pronunciation. And I can tell you that it is one of my problem words. Okay. And as readers, as speakers of any language, we would always have words that sometimes would cause us to have tongue twisters. So thank you guys so much for reading. It was my pleasure reading with you. Don't forget to share the live, share it with someone who can benefit from it, whether it is children who are learning how to read or English learners. Do have yourself a good day. If it's daytime where you are, have yourself a good evening, night, morning, a good noontime, whatever time it is you do enjoy. And take care until I see you guys again very soon. And God bless. Keep blooming. And remember, keep practicing. That's very important for your development. And I'll see you again soon. Remember, we read here on evenings or on mornings, Eastern Caribbean time. Um, we read at mornings or evenings, Eastern Caribbean time. So don't forget to follow us and come on mornings to read or on evenings. We do vocabulary, we do grammar, we do spelling, we do pronunciation, we do everything. All right? Because they all come out of your reading. And so you will be able to enhance in every way. And we have done the vocabulary for all the words. If you're now joining, you can go back and you can practice the vocabulary for the words. For each word, we have done at least 2 or 3 or even more words that can be used as synonyms. That's words that mean the same thing. And we have also done past tense verb, present tense verbs while we were reading. And we did the choices for spelling. Like for example, to remind you that GH is silent in the word flight. So you always have to remember that you have to insert the GH after the I sound. All those would help you with your spelling choices. Don't forget to practice, and I'll see you again very soon. Hopefully, we'll be on a bit later. Um, yeah, so I'm going to attend a Bible study after the Bible study, and hopefully, depends on what happens after that, that I may come back to do another session. If not, guys, just keep practicing using the sessions that you have already. And I'll see you guys very soon. Take care now. Thank you for being here again.